Remington Park Update is sponsored by the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma.
Hello and welcome to the Remington Park Update. I'm Jim Byers. On location here just outside the walking ring at Remington Park, where the Fall Thoroughbred meeting is well underway. Stay with us throughout the fall. We'll be covering the meet here. We'll have stakes recaps. We'll have previews of the major events, including the late September Oklahoma Derby on the Remington Green, part of a multiple stakes card on September 27th, the Oklahoma Classics in October, and of course, the Springboard Mile coming up on closing day. We'll also have interviews with racing personalities and all the coverage of the meeting here on the Update. On this first show, though, let's take a look back to August. We had a number of interesting stakes races last month, including a stakes doubleheader on August 15th with the Governor's Cup and the David Vance Sprint. Written for 3-year-olds and up, the $175,000 Governor's Cup drew a field of 10 older horses for this year's edition at 1 1/8 miles. A wide-open race on paper led to a pair of horses at 5-2 odds. Last year's Cup winner Code West, returning from a 6-month layoff for trainer Boyd Castor, and Eclito Red, a Lynn Kleberad trainee who took the Prairie Meadows Handicap just 3 weeks prior.
Rustling, battling with Texas Air, and now coming on, smack, battling back, Rustling. Here comes Code West, finally free of traffic, and Storm Driver, less than a furlong. Outside Rustling, inside smack, shaken up and finds a little more smack by a half length in the Governor's Cup.
It's an upset in the Governor's Cup as smack and jockey Shane Laviolette dig in to hold off Rustling. A multiple stakes winner 2 years ago as a 2-year-old, including the clever Trevor at Remington, smack is back in good form for trainer Don Von Hema. Kentucky-bred son of Closing Argument and the Victory Gallop mare Smack Madam, Smack races for his breeder, Dreamwalkin' Farms, owned by none other than country superstar Toby Keith. The time for the race, 1 minute 49 and 31 hundredths. Also on that August 15th program, the $75,000 David M. Vance Sprint at 6 furlongs. Hall of Fame jockey Calvin Burrell came to Oklahoma City to ride number 3, Ivan Fallen-Ovalot, seeking a repeat win in this race. He's 6-5.
Ivan Fallen-Ovalot has the lead by a half length, shaken up by Burrell and goes to the front with a furlong to go there by 2. Delaney trying to hold second. I'm a hit with a big run, chasing a distant fourth, Brother Max. Ivan Fallen-Ovalot going on to win the Vance Sprint for the second year in a row and winning it by 4.5.
Off since a strong campaign last spring at Oakland Park, Ivan Fallen-Ovalot returns a winner in the David Vance under Calvin Burrell. Texas-bred 5-year-old son of Valid Expectations, and the horse chestnut mare Flashdance Missy. Ivan Fallen-Ovalot carries the colors of Lewis Matthews Jr. W.T. Howard is the trainer. Ivan Fallen-Ovalot is a 10-time winner from 18 career starts. He goes the distance in 1 minute 9 and 1/100th seconds. The second weekend of the meeting brought out Oklahoma breds in the $50,000 Red Earth Stakes on August 21st. 7.5 furlongs on the turf. The odds-on choice is the Veronica Griggs-trained Perfect to Please, an open company winner at Lone Star Park in his previous outing. Brian McNeil has the mount. Also with support is the 2-time defending champion of the Red Earth, Sooner Superstar. This Marty Rodriguez pupil will have Kento Hill aboard. In his farewell season, jockey Cliff Berry has the mount on 10-speed, making his first start of the year for trainer Kenneth Nolan.
Shellac at the rail with a half mile to go by a bobbing head over 10-speed. Gap of 2 then to about 4 runners moving up the rail. That's Perfectly Pleased. Sooner Superstar in the mix. Also right there is Big Money Speaks and Perihelion wide to the second turn, but in the mix as they go to that turn. Dazzling Oki 4 or 5 wide, advancing outside. A Big Sugar Rush. Coming on from the back is Robbie Time, and taking the rail route, that will be Jump and Go. 1/4 mile to go. Half mile 1 at 47 and 2/5, top of the stretch. It's 10 Speed and Schlack. They're nose to nose, and they battle on as they straighten out. Here comes Sooner Superstar. Can she win it for a third straight year? Perfect to Please crying out for room. 10 Speed has the advantage with a 16th. It's 10 Speed by length. Perfect to Please finally gets a gap. Coming on strongly. 10 Speed, Perfect to Please got through.
For a while, it seemed unlikely Brian McNeil and Perfect to Please would find racing room, but in an electrifying finish, they teamed for a Red Earth win in 1 minute 30 and 13/100 seconds. 10 Speed a tough luck second here with Shellac third, and Robbie Time from way back for fourth. A son of Pleasantly Perfect and the Forest Wildcat mare Your Pleasure. Perfect to Please races for Alada Kirk. Veronica Griggs is the trainer. On August 22nd, the track's founder was remembered with the $75,000 Edward J. DeBartolo Memorial Handicap. This turf event at 1 mile and 1/16 featured odds-on favorite Town Extension, a $50,000 claim at Saratoga some 2 weeks earlier by owner-trainer Steve Asmussen. 9-2 second choice, Acleto Red, returns after setting the pace in the Governor's Cup the week before under Alex Berzer. The leading rider at Lone Star Park this summer, C.J. McMahon, is aboard Cougar Ridge for trainer Randy Morse.
Cougar Ridge now begins to pick things up third. Alamo Heights, fourth to the outside, only 3 lengths back. Now the runners from the back, here they come. Quarter mile to go. Fly the Red Eye hustles along, only 8 lengths off of it, but moving well. Likewise for Town Extension, who's going to get a shorter trip, and the object will get through the traffic in the lane if possible. Acleto Red with a furlong to go with the advantage. Here's Cougar Ridge splitting rivals and going on for the front. It's Cougar Ridge now up by 2 and drawing clear here in the DeBartolo. Acleto Red running a big one outside. Fly the Red Eye. Cougar Ridge by 5 in the DeBartolo Handicap.
2 great racehorses of the 70s are echoed by the name of this horse, handicap champion Cougar and Kentucky Derby winner Riva Ridge. Neither is actually in the pedigree of this one, mind you. He's by Johannesburg and the El Nadim mare Wild as El. Owned by Richard Boddy and trained by Randy Morse, a perfect trip from jockey C.J. McMahon turns into a convincing win for Cougar Ridge. The well-traveled 5-year-old Kentucky bred began his career in Ireland. He stops the clock here in 1 minute 41.87 seconds. Our final stakes recap honors Oklahoma father and son sportscasting legends Bob Berry Sr. and Jr. The $50,000 Bob Berry Memorial Stakes is a 7.5 furlong turf contest August 28th for Oklahoma-bred fillies and mares. Number 2, More Than Even, is the 9-5 favorite under Cliff Barry. Strong support for Alex Berzer's mount, Zeta Zodi, number 7, seeking her second win of the meeting. Number 9, Bringing in the Loot, is 3-1 in her 2015 debut with Luis Quinones.
More Than Even still there by a half. Ridge of Stone second, while Lola Once nosing with Ribbon of Darkness, battling for third. Between runners, Harper's Princess. Now Zeta Zodi has asked for a run and begins to move. Okinova down at the rail still, and Bringing in the Loot still in the back. Off the turn, it's More Than Even, still there by a little more than length. While Lola Once charges on, 6 furlongs in a minute 13 and change. It's More Than Even. Here's Zeta Zodi flying outside. Zeta Zodi rolling now with a big move wide and coming right down the middle of the lane. Zeta Zodi's going to make it 2 in a row, taking the Bob Berry Memorial.
A good late kick by Zeta Zodi puts her into the winner's circle for the second time already this summer at Remington Park and third straight time overall in 2015. Alex Berzer aboard. Trained by Michael Beeler for Al and Bill Ulwelling, Zeta Zodi has bankrolled more than $117,000 with all 6 of her career wins coming in a 13-month span. She goes the distance in 1 minute 30.81 seconds. Time for a short break. When we come back, a look at some upcoming events here on the Remington Park Update.
More than 6,400 jobs are involved in the Oklahoma horse racing and racehorse breeding industries, but it doesn't stop at the racetrack or farm. From the stalls to house equine athletes, to the trailers that keep them on the road, workers throughout the state provide Oklahoma-made products and services to the racing industry. More from the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma at traoracing.com.
September is a busy stakes month here at Remington Park, and coming up on the 11th, the Remington Turf Sprint, Oklahoma breds at 5 furlongs.
2 of the 25 3-year-old and up nominees for the Turf Sprint ran in the money in the recent Red Earth Stakes. Third-place finisher Shellac and the winner Perfect to Please. Last year's Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma's champion male turf runner, Perfect to Please, is trained by Veronica Griggs for owner Elada Kirk. Brian McNeil was in the irons for the 7.5 furlong Red Earth. They'll go a much shorter 5 furlongs in the RP Turf Sprint on Friday, September 11th. Here are some other races to highlight on the September calendar. On Friday the 18th, Sooner State-bred 3-year-olds will be featured in 2 stakes races, the 7 furlong Tishomingo for colts and geldings, and the Teata Stakes for fillies, also at 7/8 of a mile. Sunday, September 27th, is the richest day of racing during the Fall Thoroughbred meeting, with 7 added money events on the Derby Day card. Among those, the $100,000 Remington Green. 3-year-olds and up go a mile and an eighth on the turf course. The RP Sprint Cup. Older horses at 6 furlongs, $150,000 the purse. The Remington Park Oaks for 3-year-old fillies. They'll vie for a $200,000 purse while running a mile and a 16th. And the crown jewel of the Fall Thoroughbred meeting at the Oklahoma City track, the Grade 3 Oklahoma Derby. Sophomore runners going a mile and an eighth on the dirt, $400,000 the purse.
Remington Park Update is sponsored by the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma.
On our next edition of the Remington Park Update, we'll focus on Oklahoma Derby Day. Sunday, September 27th, a special 1:30 post time for that matinee card. Not only the Grade 3 Derby that afternoon, but the Remington Park Oaks, the Remington Green, and a number of stakes races as well. Our social media audience is the first to find out about new content here on Raceview Network. So be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to Raceview Network on YouTube. So that's all for this edition of the show. For everybody here at Raceview Network, I'm Jim Byers. Thanks a lot for being with us, and we'll see you next time here on the Remington Park Update.